This is Brad Zinn, WesternFreePress.com, reporting from David Schweikert's Congress in Your Community event here on Saturday morning. Congressman Schweikert addressed fiscal issues on this town hall meeting, and amongst the things that he told us were that the numbers were much worse and that we've been lied to, and that it is time for Washington, D.C. to tighten their belts. We're hoping to be able to speak with the congressman in just a few moments to ask him some questions about these things. One of the more surprising revelations today was that regardless of what the marginal tax rates are over the course of the last 40, 50, 60 years, revenue has always equated about 18.2%. So regardless of whether you have high tax rates or low tax rates, revenue generated to the government remains fairly flat at about 18.2%. This was a surprising revelation for many people in the audience here today. And in 2010, the revenue generated in the United States was less than enough to cover the entitlements. That means that we have to borrow about $4 billion a day in order to keep this government running.
Topic to discuss today?
It was an interesting day. What we try to do is spend the first hour just doing some one-on-ones. We sit, have conversations. Different people have very different issues. And then we spend the next hour, half of it, we put up a budget presentation. So the public has some real numbers of what Washington has done to them. My great fear is Washington has continued to lie to the American public, and now it's time we have an honest conversation of what's really going on.
Okay. I know you were explaining some issues with the budget, and
yeah.
I just found it pretty interesting with the number you said. 2007 was like the highest, and then in 1 month.
Well, what's really important for much of the public to understand is the debt explosion is just continues to skyrocket. When you understand what happened in February, 28-day month, and we spent $223 billion in borrowed money. Now, we had to borrow $223 billion that month. If that doesn't cause pause, something's horribly, horribly wrong. Someone's not paying attention.
One of the surprising things that you told us today was that the Senate voted down not only the Republicans' budget continuing resolution, which included $61 billion in cuts, but then they turned around and voted down their own resolution. So are we watching political theater, or what? Help us understand what's going on here.
And I wish I understood the Senate. I've only been at this job 60-some days now. But someone in the U.S. Senate, in the Democrat majority, needs to step in and engage in reality. Because it looks now like that Democrat majority over there is pushing us towards a government shutdown. Think about this. The House did a continuing resolution. Then we turned around and did a short-term one because they didn't get around to dealing with that. At some point, they need to do their work, because in the House it feels like we're doing all the work right now.
What is the danger for the Republican leadership if there's a government shutdown? It seems to be that we did this once before and the Republican side lost badly.
But right now, I wish people would stop thinking about it as a political game. This is an American game. This is about you and I and our families. Stop trying to say, jockey, the Democrats are going to get a little bit more press here, or the Republicans. How about doing what's right for the country?
And is that going to require a shutdown, do you think?
No, but it is going to require the Senate stepping up, pulling out a calculator, and accepting what's going on in the math in regards to our country.
But it seems like we have so many people who seem to think that we can just continue on this path and everything will be okay.
That's why they need to come to one of our budget presentations. If you are someone who believes that there's not a crisis coming, you haven't been paying attention to the numbers. We can fix it. There's ways to deal with this. But we need to start stepping up. We need to literally have this government forensically audited, because Washington has lied to us for a very long time.
If you could wave a magic wand and you could make it right, what would your vision be? How would you do this?
It would be a fixation on things that create jobs. create economic growth. Because the way we get out of this hole is, first, we stop digging. You know, when you're in a hole, you stop digging. Let's do those things that create jobs, create economic growth, and then we're going to have to slow down and stop the crazy spending. If we do both of those, we'll come back. This is a great country. We can do amazing things, but we can only do amazing things when our public is paying attention to us.
Very good. I want to thank you for your time. Congressman David Schweikert here in Fountain Hills. This is Brad Zinn for WesternFreePress.com.